Hello pals and welcome to Gamer Latte. My name is Ellen and today I'm going to be playing a little bit of Kind Words. This is actually the second time I've done this video, but the first time I ran out of space on my hard drive and so the capture did not save. And I'm kind of upset because I think I handed out some pretty sage advice to people. I'm now going to have to replicate it. I just know it's not going to be as good, but please carry on watching, because I will try to make it as good. Basically, if you don't know what Kind Words is, it's kind of just like Kindness the game. It's this little space that you sit in with your little animated character and anonymous people ask for advice. You anonymously give them advice. You anonymously ask for advice, and you also send out these little paper airplanes with nice kind words on them. It's basically just a really relaxed, empathetic, nice space, and it's also a really nice game to incorporate as like part of your daily routine, maybe starting the day with half an hour of kind words or ending the day with half an hour of kind words. It's just really nice, and it's not like any other game I've played. It almost feels wrong to call it a game because it's like the game is kindness, but it is excellent. One of the main draws of this game is that you're also writing to lo-fi beats, but because of the ye old copyright claims on YouTube, I can't play them unfortunately, but if you get the game you will get the full experience, lo-fi beats and all. So yeah, when I recorded this the first time, I sent out a couple of requests. Those are the anonymous sort of help wanted notes. And it looks like I've got some responses, so I'll run through what I sent out and what I got back. Hopefully we got some nice responses. So the first thing I asked for is, what is the nicest thing anyone has ever said to you, and what is the nicest thing you can say about yourself? And the first person replied, whoa, this really got me thinking. The nicest thing is probably my boyfriend telling me what he likes about me, but the nicest thing I can say about myself, this one is just hard. I'm glad that I beat depression and that I'm still alive after several suicide attempts. I can't say I'm completely out of it for sure, although I'm pretty happy right now. Even though there's so many things that I have to deal with and work on, I'm not stressing much. And now I can say I'm strong inside, probably the best thing I could wish for. We are going in at the deep end, folks. This is such a lovely response to get. I also really like the fact that this person said that something nice about themselves is hard, but once they started, I really think they were able to be kinder to themselves than perhaps they thought they could be. This is when Kind Words really hits home, is when you get responses like this where people have really poured their heart out, and I think the anonymity helps that a lot. One thing I will say, and it just reminded me because they mentioned depression, I think this is a beautiful response, and it's exactly the sort of thing I like getting on Kind Words. You may come across the occasional request from someone else and it's very heavy. Often you get people who talk about depression and suicidal thoughts and anxiety and perhaps unsafe home environments. And I would say if you feel that compelled to respond, the only thing I think you can really say is that you advise that they seek help. And there are mental health links in Kind Words. But I really wouldn't recommend responding to them from, trying to offer advice, because you're not licensed to do so. It's also a lot for you to be taking on yourself. This whole game is about empathy, and I know people who are really attracted to it are people who like to practice empathy, but that's a lot for you to take on. So I would just recommend, although it might seem harsh, just skipping past the requests that are saying things like, I don't want to live anymore. And they are rare, but they do happen. So just a little warning, a little trigger warning for you. If you're feeling super fragile, feel free to ask for help, like advice, but maybe don't go into the requests that other people have put out there. But that's, this is a good example of how wonderful people can be in response. I wish I could reply back, but that's not the aim of the game. It's just a two-way, one way each interaction, if that makes sense. So I'm going to send them a little happy chap. You can send stickers, by the way. They've given me a sticker, so you can see a little mug of coffee. And yeah, Next response was also to the nicest thing anyone has ever said to you. Someone gave me a cake. Thank you. Probably the compliment I got today, that I have good questions and that I seek a rational basis for my assumptions. I guess the nicest thing I can say about myself is I'm a truth seeker at heart. I go where the evidence is. Wishing you well. That's nice, because it seems like the reason they really appreciated that compliment is because it does touch on the thing they like most about themselves. It seems like this person's having a nice day as well, which makes me feel good. I often find, for me, the nicest thing people can say about me, and I get it occasionally, and I just love it, is when people say that I'm easy to talk to and that I don't come across as judgmental, and like they can tell me stuff and know that I won't judge them for it. That is my favourite thing ever. It's nice for people to say like your clothes are nice or your hair looks nice, but when people say that, it really, again, like this person, it touches on the thing that I strive for and like about myself, is that I know that I don't prejudge too much, and I like that I'm quite an open-minded person. I'm going to give them this little lad. There you go. Maybe the fact that my recording didn't work is for the best, because I didn't have any responses to this particular note in my last attempt, so maybe this has all worked out. Kindred Spirit E has also responded to the nicest thing. Thank you for this lovely question. One that comes to mind is a pretty recent one. I was having a rough night last weekend, and a close friend texted that they love me the way I am and there's nothing I have to change. It's simple, but it did hit me hard in that moment. Nicest thing I can say about myself is I'm proud of myself for not giving up when things get hard. Hope you're doing well, T. Oh, they gave me, I love this one. It's that little chap there. I'm going to give them a mitten. I like the little mitten. Those were some really lovely responses, and yeah, just a good example. Oh, someone sends their thanks for a letter you wrote. That must have been in my first attempt. And another drooper sticker. Okay, let's look at the requests. That one's in a language I don't understand. Just hey, that's nice. What's your favourite place? Describe it to me. Mine's the beach. It's very calm. I know the answer to this. Oh, I have two, and they're both woodland areas. I'll go with my current. My current favourite place is a park not far from me. It's bowl-shaped, like an... Oh, how do you spell it? Amphitheatre. Forgive me if I spelled that wrong. And I like to sit at the top and look down across the park and the rest of the city. It's really helped me out in lockdown too. And I'm going to send a sticker. Do I have any woodland theme stickers that I can send to accompany my... I'm going to go frog. Little earnest looking frog. Send that one out. There we go. So that's one sent. Cool. You can count on me to... Oh, also everything's delivered by a deer, a little postman deer. I forgot to mention that. Isolation and lockdown. This whole situation is taking its toll on me. I feel so lonely. Even though I talk to my friends online every day, I still feel like I'm all alone with no support system. I went back to therapy, which helps, but I still feel like I don't belong anywhere. I completely understand this, and I think it's really hard to find your place in the world when you're not in the world in a way that you used to be. They're talking to friends online every day. I think these friends would appreciate knowing this. If I were one of the friends you spoke to online every day, I'd want to know you were feeling like this. They're your friends. I'm sure they can be your support system too. It's really great that you're going to therapy. I recently started too, and it's had such a difference to my outlook already. So good luck with that. All I can say is you do belong, even if it's hard to see it right now. When you're not allowed outside. No, that's rubbish. I just put, I hope you start to feel better soon. That's not my best advice. I don't feel like I perfectly encapsulated what I wanted to say, but you can't win them all, I guess. Okay, oh, another note. You are loved. That's nice. You are loved. View requests. I've got love for a person who doesn't return it. He sees me more as a friend. How do I just let go and see him as a friend only? Oh, man, I feel for this person. The thing is, does this person know that they can't make them change their mind? Because I'm sure we've all been through that. There's a slight glimmer of hope that this person is going to change their mind if you keep them in your life. If you love this person but they can't love you in the same way, you need to sit with yourself and think about whether you can live with that. If you can't, the kindest thing to do for both of you would be to step away. I'm so sorry that he doesn't love you in the way you need to be loved, but someone will. Please don't hold out for someone who can't be there for you in the ways you need. Good luck. Okay, I'm going to give them a mug of coffee because that feels appropriate. Well, is it coffee? A mug of unidentified beverage. One thing that I like about this game is that there are a lot of very universal problems that people are talking about. You don't necessarily know what country these people are from, but they're from all over. I've definitely gotten responses from people who have said they're from other European countries and America. And that's quite nice. And I find often with certain issues, sometimes it takes someone else talking about it for you to recognize it in yourself. And sometimes you don't even realize you're holding on to certain things until it's kind of like, you know, that Arthur meme where he's clenching his hand. I always think of that because it's like sometimes there are certain problems in your life or ways that you react to something that you've never quite been able to pinpoint why you do it like that. And it's not until you start to think about it that you look down, you see your hand is clenched and you're holding on to this thing that happened to you when you were younger, or something that someone said to you, or something bad that happened to you. And that's impacting you. You know, you're going to get hand cramp. But yeah, it's something I've been thinking about a lot lately, especially therapy helps. Go to therapy, people. I recommend it. I understand it's not the most affordable option, but I think it is a priority if you do have disposable income. Happiness isn't a state you reach, it's a state you maintain. It takes work, it's hard, but it's worth it. Even if you're trying to maintain it and it occasionally slips through your fingers. That really resonates with me. I keep thinking recently, quite an anxious little chap, and a worry that I have often is that the happiness I'm feeling is like fleeting. And I almost want to write down this recipe of like what made me happy? How do I do this again every single time? And it's not like that. Sometimes, I mean, if you watched Inside Out, you'll know that sometimes sadness isn't necessarily a bad thing. And it's okay to feel all the things. It's what makes you human, being able to feel all the things. And yeah, I completely agree. You'll never be happy constantly forever. And, you know, would you even want to be? That's debatable. But yeah, I do recommend trying to jot down certain things that have made you happy. You'll never find the perfect recipe for happiness, but sometimes in kind of sadder days you can call on things and some things might click, you know? You write down the foods you like and the places you like to go, people you like to see, music you like to listen to, and you might look through that list and you go, you know what, this is an ABBA kind of day or something. ABBA's not one of mine, but you can have that if it works for you. I always worry about my best friend. It feels like they get hurt by people all the time and yet they try to excuse their behaviour all the time. I don't know how to tell them that. I don't know how to tell them that those who hurt them without any care in the world don't have their best interests in mind. The thing is, if someone is going to make these decisions, the only thing you can do is either be there for them or acknowledge that their behaviour is affecting you and that you might need to step back, if that makes sense. If there's someone who keeps making choices that hurt them, you can say, I think you're making decisions that hurt you, I want to be there for you, I want to help you. If they won't accept that help and then the choices they're making are starting to hurt you, you do need to think about yourself, as noble as it is to be thinking about them and their best interests. And, you know, if they're not doing that, it's very nice that they are, but you have to look out for yourself sometimes, and it's really easy to not do that. So yeah, what would my advice be? I always worry about my best friend. It feels like they get hurt by people all the time, and yet they try to excuse their behaviour all the time. I don't think this person can do that much for them if they don't. If it's hurting them and you've let them know, there's not much else I personally think you can do. If they're allowing this behaviour and you've pointed it out, all you can do is be there for them. If it's starting to negatively impact you too, though, maybe you should step away a little. You have to look out for yourself too. Good luck, and I hope your friend is okay. Yeah, I'm gonna give them a blobfish. I didn't mean to click the blobfish, but the blobfish didn't feel like he encapsulated the mood, but we'll go with blobfish. I'll go with one more. Dearest community, know that you are known, know that you are worth it, and know that you are loved. Your self-worth isn't and cannot be measured by anyone else. It is measured by yourself. Don't give anyone that power. It's solely yours, Kay. So that one is eerie, because I was just talking to a friend today about how I'm sorry, I think I mentioned this in every video, but I work in the games industry. I've worked in it for a couple of years. I'm a video producer, but increasingly my role has started to involve like voiceovers and stuff. And you know what I was saying about clutching onto something and not realising? It took me a while to realise that I was really clutching onto this idea that I am insufferably annoying, and that my voice in particular is really hard and grating, really hard to bear, basically. And that's because someone told me that when I was in school. Someone told a friend of mine that she didn't want to be my friend because she couldn't stand the sound of my voice, and I was so irritating. And when you hear something like that, it's so out of your hands. It's so like, for someone to attack something that's just a part of you, that's not a decision you've made, that's not something you've consciously done, it cuts to the core of you, because you're like, I can't change that. And so as I've started to go into this industry and do more voiceover stuff, there's always been this element of like, I'm doing this because, you know, they have no other option but to use me, or people just suffer through my voice to get to the info that they need. And recently a client asked to use my voice in something, and it was so at odds with what I believed about myself, because someone else made me believe this thing. And like this person says, I gave someone else the power to determine part of my self-worth, and I was really clutching onto this thing. And it wasn't until I looked and I was like, one person found my voice annoying Other people might not. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. And that's, yeah, I don't know what I was trying to say with that. It's just I completely understand and agree that your self-worth should not be measured by anyone else. And I worry so much about what people think of me. Yeah, that's a really lovely... I'm just going to tell them that I think that that's excellent. I really needed to hear that today. Thank you so much. It's such a healthy outlook to have, and I truly hope you know the same is true about yourself. Thank you. And I'm going to give them... I'm going to give them this bowl of gruel? Porridge? Not sure what it is. Okay, I think I'm done. I think this is a good place to wrap up. It's a good place to wrap up, right? Yeah. Oh, come on, end on a high. I love you. Oh, that's nice. That's a good one to end on. Okay. Yeah. This was fun. If you guys think this is something that you might want to watch on a regular basis, I'd really like to do just kind of 10-15 minutes every Wednesday. I had it in my head that Wednesday, hump day, was the day that we might need to hear some encouraging words. If this is something that you like the idea of, please let me know. Give this video a thumbs up and just, pop in the comments what you thought. I'm super open to criticism and suggestions. But yeah, this is something I've wanted to do for a while, but particularly today because I just had a bit of a rubbish day. I woke up in a bit of a grump. My first attempt at this video didn't work. So I just, I just had some hash browns for lunch, put on my big boy pants and made this video. I'm really glad I did. Let me know if you liked it. Please subscribe if you're feeling kind. Give this game a go. It's really excellent and you just feel really good after you've done it if you do it right. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching and goodbye.